Hi, I'm Sarah Hanoun.
And I'm Amanda Reese, and we are the coordinators for On Eagles Wings Farm Night to Remember Gala.
We wanted to be the first to welcome you.
So thank you for joining us tonight and welcome.
The program will start right around 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, but we wanted to share some important information with you first.
We have a beautiful selection of items in our silent auction this year. Just visit us at oneagleswingsfarm.org to find the link to bid.
Bidding is simple. It looks like this. This gives you all the information including what the starting bid is and also includes the bidding increments.
Bidding can be done after the gala, so don't worry, just enjoy the show.
The next few slides will also have helpful information you might need to make your night even easier.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook tonight for fun ways to connect with us tonight and after.
We hope you will sit back, relax, and enjoy a night to remember.
The number one reason that we support On Eagles Wings Farm and Jason and Courtney Nealand is because of who they are as individuals. The first time I met Jason, we sat on the curb of a gas station and we spoke for a good 30 minutes and we got to know each other and connected in a way that I could tell the sincerity of who he is as a person. And then when we went to meet them for the first time, we saw how they're living as missionaries right in with the people and helping and supporting people. The second reason, the number two reason that we support On Eagles Wings Farm that is just as important is because of the size of their vision. Their vision is incredible. They have a huge vision of helping thousands and thousands of children that are otherwise hopeless in this world. The numbers of foster children in this country is staggering, and they all need hope and a helping hand, and On Eagles Wings Farm is there to supply that for them, for those kids. Thank you, Jason and Courtney Nealand and your family. Thank you, On Eagles Wings Farms, and God bless you and everything you do.
I'm Jacqueline Long, and this is my husband, Matthew Long. We are with Long Lasting Lighting and Landscaping, and we are excited to be sponsoring this year with the Gala for On Eagle's Wings Farm for the foster kids to be able to bring them a brighter future and hope. And it's an amazing ministry that we're excited to be a part of this year.
Hi, good evening. I'm Michael Manis with Wholesale Batteries. We're humbled to partner with On Eagle's Wings Farm. This ministry is so impactful in meeting the local needs of broken families and children. We believe we have a corporate responsibility to give back to our communities in meeting the local needs of so many experiencing difficulties. We will faithfully pray not only for a successful gala, but continued healing of families and children through this ministry. Good night.
Good evening. My name is Scott Walden. I am a board member of Carry the Cross Ministries and On Eagles Wings Farm. Welcome to A Night to Remember, Gala.
Hi, my name is Justin Hoskins and I am on the board for On Eagles Wings Farm. I'm also a pediatrician in the emergency department, so I have the opportunity to interact with kids who are in foster care on a pretty regular basis. Whenever the state takes kids into custody, they have to have a medical screening evaluation done, so they frequently bring them into the emergency department for that evaluation. They're there just to get checked out to make sure they have no immediate medical needs. It's a pretty sobering experience. Every couple of weeks I have a handful of kids that come in for it. Knowing that kids have gone through something likely traumatic that they are going to cause them to be taken from their families, and then also knowing that they're going into foster care. So we also have some pretty significant negative effects on kids who are in foster care emotionally and behaviorally. So the one study found kids who had been in foster care after 1 year were 2.5 times more likely to have an emotional behavioral problem compared to their counterparts who were not in foster care. And so this includes things like anger management, outward behaviors, and then inward behaviors such as depression and anxiety. So we're failing these kids in that manner as well. And obviously with all of these limitations and shortcomings, it's important for us to recognize what we can do to help these kids. And so one of the things we can do is by supporting an organization like On Eagles Wings Farm. I've known the Nealons for 20 years now, and it's awesome to see their heart for these kids, to want to feel loved, to want to feel supported, and to have a future ahead of them. And so I hope as we continue with the evening that you will hear from the speakers and pay attention and then understand and comprehend how much the Nealons do love these kids and want to invest in them, and then how your support of On Eagles Wings Farm could positively impact kids who are in foster care. So with that, I'm going to start us off with a prayer. Father, we know that you love these kids tremendously, and it says in the Psalms that you're a father to the fatherless. And that's who a lot of these kids are. They don't have a father. And so we pray right now for the kids who are in foster care that they would just understand and feel loved in some way or another. We pray for the kids who are entering foster care this year at some point, who may not even know that they're going to enter foster care, that while they're there they would feel loved and not neglected. Lord, and I pray for those of us who are participating in this event tonight that we could understand your heart for these kids and also understand how we can positively impact them and help them to feel loved and understand that you do care about them. So I pray for the Nealons and On Eagles Wings Farm as we have this gala, that the support that they raise would benefit these kids, and that we would be able to get this farm going at some point in the near future. And I pray all these things in your name, Jesus. Amen.
I know you've heard this story. They all sound too good to be true. You've heard about a place called home, but there doesn't seem to be one for you. So one more night you cry yourself to sleep and drift off to a distant dream. Everything changes. A miracle starts with the beat of a heart. When love takes you home, takes you home for good. and takes you in for good. When love takes you in.
Kids all over Kansas and Missouri are dreaming of having a forever home, a place for them to find refuge, restoration, and renewal. Good evening, I'm Crystal Lampett, your MC for the evening. Thank you so much for joining us all, and I have my cute little co-host over here, Miss Evie
Oh, thank you. We are so excited that you have joined us tonight.
We are. So I am especially grateful to be here again, even though we couldn't be in person. I was lucky enough to meet the Nealons, who put all of this together tonight, of course, when I was hosting a local morning TV show, and I was able to feature them and really spread their message with our viewers, and they just struck me with their passion and their vision for creating a safe place for individuals in the foster community to call home. And I knew that there was this huge need for this, and we really could not have met at a better time. So I'm currently transitioning into a career as a clinical social worker and mental health therapist specializing in trauma. And I know that whenever I work with trauma, one of the first things we look at is how can we create a safe environment, not only at home, but also within that therapeutic relationship. Because we know that you really cannot heal in the same environment that made you sick. And this is particularly relevant to the foster population because we know that at least 1 in 4 children in foster care will show signs of post-traumatic stress disorder, and close to half of those who age out of foster care will be homeless without family support or family connection at all. So there are really, really very few resources available to these kids and young adults. So now, if any of you have ever been through a really difficult time, maybe the loss of a loved one, the end of a relationship, or financial hardship, you'll always remember those people who were there for you during those times. Maybe it was your family, maybe it was your friends, or a faith community. You know what I'm talking about when you feel like you've hit rock bottom and the people around you have just loved you back to life. And that is actually the work that is being done here. It's about creating a beautiful, safe space for foster children to call home, and it's also about providing the support, the connection, and the strength to heal from trauma, to grow, and to live healthier, more productive lives. So I really, really, truly, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate you all for joining us tonight in supporting the Nealons. I know this evening that we have many, many states representing us all over the United States, along with many families from Kansas and Missouri.
If you are joining us tonight as one of our Foster 50 groups, we would love for you to post a picture on your Facebook page and tag us. Now, we want to take a moment to say thank you to our sponsors. This night is made possible because of you.
Hey everybody, and welcome to this event hosted by On Eagles Wings Farm. You know, at just the tender age of 12 years old, Kenneth Miller helped his local Amish community build sheds and barns. And from that very first shed, now this company has been built into a construction dynasty, offering the highest quality craftsmanship to your local city. We are Classic Buildings.
My name is Matt Long. This is my wife, Jacqueline. We're with Long Lasting Lighting and Landscaping, where we turn your outdoor dreams into living reality. Please feel free to give us a visit on our website at longlastinglighting.com or give us a call at 913-514-4565.
We look forward to hearing from you.
Hey Evie, I have a question for you. What's one of your favorite dreams that you can remember?
When I grow up, I want to have 3 kids, a husband. I want to be a missionary. And in China, I want to try really hard to help people in there. And I just want to help my kids through things. And I want to tell them all these crazy stories that was like in Corona time.
So you have a lot of really cool plans.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty great. I'll have what she's having. I'm here for that. And it will be nice when we can look back on all of this. Really tonight, though, is all about making dreams like Evie's come true. So every single dollar given this evening means one more child has the opportunity of seeing their dreams fulfilled. So if you are inspired by the message this evening and would like to join our mission through giving, you can donate a few ways. Online tonight, simply by going to www.oneagleswingsfarm.org/give. And then there are other giving options available, including text to give. If you're on Facebook, there's also that option of donating via the fundraiser. So we're very glad to have you joining us for A Night to Remember. Please welcome our founders, Jason and Courtney Nealon, as they share a special moment talking to a foster family and a little boy in foster care that is sharing with us his dream for the future.
Are you going to draw for us something that you dream your life will look like when you're older? That would be amazing. Thank you. I'd love to see that.
And what initially was your catalyst that set things in motion for you guys to become foster parents?
Well, interestingly, one of our younger daughters, when she was really little, started a savings for, she thought she wanted to run an orphanage when she got older. So she kind of had a heart for that. I don't know.
Sounds like you need to hire Allison on board, right?
I don't know what prompted it. I really don't. But then church, our church has a foster and adoption ministry, and she started hearing that they were having, meetings to just inform, people about the foster system and adoption. And she was really interested in us adopting. She kept begging us to adopt. And they were like, well, we have 5 children of our own. We don't need any more. But anyway, that was so we did eventually give in to her request. And she was probably 8 or 10 at the time, and went to an adoption foster meeting at church. And, okay, so we did what she asked us to do. Just through messages at church and talking to some friends that were fostering, and a burden was a strong burden for me. And one day, I just actually went to Rodney's office when he was working, and I just said, I am just really feeling strongly that we need to get involved and, do something, maybe foster some children. And his response was, we've got enough to do, basically. After that, within days, I heard a newscast, something on the internet about CASA, which is an advocacy group. It's court-appointed advocates for foster children. Then they contacted me and asked me if I'd take this sibling set of 3 that they were in need of a CASA. Not all foster children have CASAs. It depends on the intensity of the situation, like if they need that extra supervision and that extra set of eyes. So anyway, so I took that case and was with those kids for a year. And the foster home that they were in at the time, after that year, decided they couldn't keep the kids any longer. And so that evening, I was just telling Rodney the story, just telling him just more, because it made me sad and I was burdened for them. And he actually said, well, what if we took them?
So tell me something that you hope to have in your house. What do you hope? What will it look like?
A lot of animals.
A lot of animals. I love animals too. What kind of animals do you want to have in it?
Snakes, dogs, and...
We walk a lot. So when we were walking, that's when she actually brought it to me, the idea that the kids were going to get split up, 3 siblings. And then I started thinking about God was putting on my heart, what if they were my children? If my children were somewhere and then they were all of a sudden the brothers and sisters were not going to be able to see each other grow up together potentially, what am I going to do about that? And so I think that's when the seed was planted, and I think God was opening my side of it up, because I felt responsible for my own children, being the provider, not being the sluggard. And when she started, and over time she would kind of tell me about the kids, and she had a special love for them.
Think in your home you'll ever have other kids come and stay with you?
Yeah.
Maybe kids that are in foster care? Yeah, that would be cool. Can you give them lots of love? What else do you think a kid in foster care might want?
Toys.
Toys. Anything else?
Video games.
Video games.
So in June, they asked us again to take them back into our home. So this has been his third time.
In your home?
Third time in our home and third time taken back into custody, into state custody. So it's been a lot of back and forth for these kids.
6 years.
Yeah.
I love watching the journey of your daughter. God had a call on y'all's life. It's obvious, just sitting here listening. And she brought it in. And initially, you know, I think it's so hard whenever he calls us sometimes, especially when it means sacrificing, like actually giving up our time, our treasures, our lives, our space, right? And he was ready for you guys. And you were a little, you know, do I step out of the boat and then take that next step out? And then all the walls start to crumble. It's like each step of faith, more walls just started to crumble around your heart. And I've been on that side of the coin working for KVC back in the days where I've had sibling groups come in and I've seen them literally have to drag their little brothers and sisters away to take them to separate placement because they had to be separated. Know that there are families out there that are willing to take in sibling groups. And I think one of the things that we want to do on the farm is have that open opportunity at any time for any sibling group that comes across the line to be able to be taken in. So thank you guys so much for doing that. That's an awesome story to see that going on.
And it's finished.
Finished? That is beautiful, buddy. I love it. Well, I hope that your dream will come true one day. You will have a beautiful big house with lots of friends and lots of animals, dude.
This story and many like is why opening on Eagles Wings Farm is so important.
Tonight, we are excited to introduce you all to former Chiefs quarterback and superstar off the field, Brody Croyle. He's also the executive director of Big Oak Ranch in Alabama.
Hey guys, Brody Croyle here with Big Oak Ranch. First, thank y'all for allowing me the opportunity to get to share a little bit. But I think for you to understand what I'm going to share about, you need to understand the heart of our ministry. And you know, Big Oak Ranch was born 46 years ago, and it was born with the idea to relieve the suffering of children that come from abandonment, that come from abuse, that come from really bad circumstances, and giving them a chance at a different way of life by giving them a godly family, a godly mom and dad, but ultimately a chance to realize God's potential for their life, but ultimately the freedom and the hope that can be found in Him. And at the end of the day, that's our mission. That's what we're here for. And a few years ago, we started what is now known as Planting Oaks, because it was how can we make the greatest impact on these children, and how can we offer, you know, beyond just the 150 that call Big Oak Ranch home, how can we offer children outside of these walls the same opportunity? And Planting Oaks was born. And since that time, God has blessed it and blessed it immensely. We now have over 50 children's homes that we've either been a resource to or have partnered with or have helped plant in 17 different states and in 3 different countries. And Jason and Courtney Nealon are some of those people. And there's some of those people that when they walk in the room, you realize something's different about them. You realize that there's something different about those guys. Like there's something pushing them maybe a little bit harder and a little bit further than maybe others are. And at Big Oak, we're big on our why. You know, our why is that inner burn inside of us that usually comes from a past experience that unfortunately we probably used for ourselves for a long time, where God was always trying to say, no, this is your why of what I want to use you for the rest of your life. And when you hear Jason and Courtney's why, you're going to go, man, these people, man, they do it for the right reason. They have the right heart, and they're chasing truly, how do we relieve the suffering of children? And not only are they chasing it, they're doing it. And I'm so proud that at Big Oak and Planting Oaks, we get to be a part of this with them. But you know what? These guys, they're different, and they're difference makers. And I hope that you see that in them, and I hope you see that in their team tonight, because they really are. And we are just blessed to get to be a part of it. But we stand as some of their biggest fans of watching them way down here in Alabama do what it is God placed them on earth to do up there in Kansas City. Guys, they're making a difference in your community. And so from the bottom of our hearts at Big Oak, we say thank you to Jason and Courtney. We also say thank you to you in advance for partnering with them. And to all of you, stay the course. You're making a difference.
Good evening. I'm Jason Nealon, the co-founder and director of Carry the Cross Ministries. Thanks for taking a moment out of your day to join us for this evening's gala. To start out, I'd like to tell you a little bit about how Carry the Cross Ministries got started. My wife Courtney and I have 5 beautiful children: Gracie, Joshua, Luke, Evie, and Maggie. We began our ministry journey almost 15 years ago, not long after we were married, as we sought to live a life fully serving Christ while reaching out to those who were less fortunate in our community. We had both experienced this homelessness in one form or another and wanted somehow to help those who were struggling with the same issue. We ended up purchasing a 4-plex, known as the Firehouse in Kansas City, Kansas, and started Carry the Cross Ministries, a nonprofit organization set up for the purpose of bringing in families who were homeless or needing a fresh start, while also reaching out and connecting with the community around us. It's been quite a journey so far. 2 years into our ministry at the Firehouse, we started a program for children and youth who were in the system that were considered the worst of the worst. These were the young men who were deeply involved in gangs, crime, and rough lives, whose caseworkers had no other answers for them. During this program, we would have the young men meet at our home, and we would drive them out to the country area of Bonner Springs, where a small, nondescript farm was struggling to make ends meet. Through a Craigslist ad, we connected with the owners, and they allowed us to bring our kiddos out to learn stall and horse life, in turn helping them to revive a dying horse farm. We were shocked at how much of a turn we saw in the demeanors and the lives of the young people who joined us out at the farm. Even youth from rival gangs would drop their burdens and beefs and enjoy a day throwing horse patties at each other and riding on the backs of these big, beautiful animals. Saddles were oiled, horses were brushed down, stalls were cleaned, things were built, and horses were ridden. More importantly, walls came crashing down around the hearts and lives, and transformation began occurring at home and at school for these young men who previously had had no hope. This is where the dream of On Eagles Wings Farm was born.
So this has been kind of a crazy year, definitely a season of a lot of uncertainties. How has this affected you guys and your ministry?
Came across a quote the other day, Abe Lincoln. He said, we can complain because rose bushes have thorns, or we can rejoice because thorn bushes have roses. And we've all been given an opportunity over this past 6-8 months to have a choice on whether we view things in a glass half full or glass half empty. And we've tried our best to focus on the half full and focus on all the good things that God's doing and in our neighborhood and people around us. And we've been really blessed. Actually, we've run our ministry full time. We've stayed open.
Tell me a little bit about this past year for you guys. What's like one memory that's really stood out for you?
I was talking to my daughter the other day, and she reminded me of this moment that we had in our van, actually. And so we had a group of our Illuminate kids with us, and we were driving, and one of our children was just kind of nagging at one of my own kids, and no matter what I said, it was just like he was determined to give her a hard time. And my patience was wearing thin at this point, and then all of a sudden he said, I don't understand why it is that I get slapped and hit with a belt, and your kids only have to do wall sits when they get in trouble. And it was kind of that moment when you have to take it in and realize that behind every behavior, there's usually a reason, right? And so I think it was just a good idea for us is to always make sure that we're taking a deep breath. We are listening to these kids and finding out the real reason why they're acting out. And then, for us just to know that there's hope, that we can hopefully give them hope in a different way of doing things, so that not only, for them, but so that generations, hopefully that they will treat their children differently.
Tell me a little bit more about just some of your work this past year in general.
Our big steps forward this year when the COVID hit, we had some parents approach us and say, hey, what would you guys think about doing school for our kiddos? And we were just done preparing for school for our kiddos and had everything all lined up and ready to go. And you know, our ministry is all about being fluid, and sometimes it hurts a little bit to be fluid, but we decided to go ahead and open up the Firehouse Academy this year at the beginning of the school year, and we have 5 neighborhood kids that come to school at our home each day, and it's been awesome. It was really crazy at first managing. We basically have a little house on the prairie in the firehouse. It's amazing. We've got K through 12 more or less in our space, and 5 of those kids have different schedules on Zoom, and just navigating that at the beginning was like a treasure hunt just to find what class they were going to be at. And we'd get there and be like, yeah, we got it. And we've continued with our food pantry and just our outreach. We were blessed with a grant. We were able to help some folks financially that were struggling with rent and bills. But mainly, it just seems like we've been brought together a lot with the folks that we do ministry with and the folks that we serve. There's been a more closeness. Just as everybody comes, people stay a little longer when they come by. The conversations are deeper. They're more meaningful. People are hurting right now. We also opened up another program this year where we have been taking in young ladies who have aged out of the foster care system, ages 18 to 24. It's part of our transition into On Eagles Wings Farm. We want to have a place within the city that our kids can go to once they leave the farm, to kind of integrate back in, be in the city, back in that environment, get back into the job mentality, that sort of deal. And it was awesome. We had this one young lady, she moved in, and she was still in high school, senior year in high school, and she stayed in school all year, held a pretty much full-time hours at Lowe's while she was going to school, ended up graduating and moving on. And I think what's important is most people don't really know the numbers with kids who age out of foster care. I mean, 80% of those young people are either dead, in jail, homeless, or pregnant by the time their first year of being out of foster care is done. So we felt a need early on that we really wanted to integrate that into part of our programming. So it's been awesome. It's been a learning curve to that. It's very different ministry dealing with 18 to 24-year-olds. It's opened our eyes to, unfortunately, the sadness and craziness that comes along with those kiddos. So.
Tell me a little bit more about what the actual farm is going to look like and how you see the firehouse kind of playing off of that. Like, where will you guys live?
So we plan on living at the farm. We hope to have a host family live at the firehouse so that we can maintain and just keep that sense of community there that we've built up over the last 15 years. So that's really important to us. And then we also want to bring the children that have been with us to the farm so that they can still get to ride horses and do some of that fun stuff with us and still be a part of their lives too, very much so. And just connect those, together, and then also to connect church groups and just other kids that are having a hard time struggling maybe at home, and let them come out and experience the farm life as well.
Right now we're actually looking at a piece of land that could change what our initial view looks like in a sense, but we found a piece that we could possibly buy homes within a neighborhood context. So there's like a 10-acre plot in a beautiful area, and there's some homes on the road. And but if that doesn't work out, with our original goal was to have 7 homes on the land and have some folks living in community together and doing farm life and doing life together. One of the biggest frustrations I think for foster families that they have is they feel like they're on the island. We've known a lot of families that have tried to come on board over the last couple years, have taken in foster kids, and they've been one and done. So they've tried it out. They don't feel like there's a support base set up there, and it's tough. It's not an easy ministry at all, and so we want to provide an atmosphere and a place where families can rely on each other, lean on each other, and love on each other as we go through those trials and tribulations. And
we want to make sure that every child feels like they can always come home. They can always come visit us, and they will always have somebody there that's going to love them. However, our hope and our goal is that they would transition back into their biological families.
families. And so if it's possible, we want to do everything that we can to help them to have a connection with their families and, provide space so that they can have these happy memories that they can go back to, and they're not just going back to, whatever they left. And also, making sure that the families, the parents especially, have extra support.
Imagine having your meeting for the day, and most young folks, when they reunite with their mom or dad that they're going through the separation with, they meet in a small room. The time is very tight. We've heard it described. You get 10 minutes and they're talking. You don't know what to do anymore. Parents are on their phone. So imagine the families being able to come out, and they drive up the drive and come. The first thing they get to do is get on the back of a horse together. They get to go ride through the woods. They get to come back and sit on a dock on the edge of a pond and throw a fishing line into the water. And our goal is to start building positive, beautiful, loving memories within these families, and maybe replacing some of that brokenness and the hopelessness that was there, and replacing it with love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, and even forgiveness, and having a therapist sit next to a mom and a child on the dock fishing with them, but being able to engage in dialogue in that scene. We feel like there's going to be a lot of space for healing there.
True stories and real life is what we wanted to bring to you all tonight. We hope that tonight is a night to remember, because it will have made an impact on your life, that you will go away with a dream in your heart of reaching out and making a difference. Dramatic Truth, an inspiring ballet group, is set to perform a piece for us next that has been adapted from the story of a young girl in foster care that we interviewed this year.
We hope you are moved by this performance. Please welcome Dramatic Truth.
So often, a child can become just a number in our system, just a name on a page. We often forget they are living human beings, and despite the heartache they may have faced, they still have their own hopes and dreams deep in their hearts that many never see. This story is based off the story of a young girl with hopes and dreams just like you and me. What if today was the day that you could do your part to make a child's dreams come true? Not only can we nurture and take care of these precious children, we can feed their souls and give wings to their dreams.
There's a story in the Bible. It talks about a man traveling a road who is beaten, stripped of his clothes, and robbed. Soon a priest passes by. He looks his way and passes on by on the other side of the road. Then a Levite comes by. Both of these men were considered religious leaders of their cities. Levite looks over at the man. He passes by on the other side. Soon a Samaritan came by, someone who wasn't considered to be much of anything. He stops when he sees the man and begins to care for him, immediately cleaning and bandaging his wounds, even going as far as to renting a room for him at an inn, staying overnight with him, caring for him, cleaning him up, and even paying for him to stay there as long as he needed to. For years, we have witnessed the dire need of children and families going through tragedies and traumas of life to have a safe and secure, loving environment, to be cared for when it seemed like no one else would. When we became aware of the need, we could no longer just pass by and turn a blind eye. We knew that we had to do something. After an extended time of fasting and prayer and seeking God's will, Carry the Cross Ministries and the Firehouse were born and became part one of our story. And now, On Eagles Wings Farm is our part two. Many of you are probably wondering what stage we're at in the process so far. We're now at phase one of our plan. We have begun the transition processes of the Firehouse Ministry to prepare for our move from there to the farm. We've even started our programming there at the Firehouse to coincide with what's going to be going on at the farm when we finally get there. We have a couple of land opportunities we are praying about right now. But as you may know, the market for buying land is a bit different now than it was before COVID. Many of the properties that fit our goals are in the $600,000 to $800,000 range. Blessedly, we've raised over the past year and a half over $300,000 in donations and pledges. It's pretty mind-blowing from our perspective, something only God could do. So right now, we're going to remain prayerful and patient as we continue on this journey to find land to open On Eagles Wings Farm.
We're so thankful that you all have chosen to take a step out in faith and tackle this problem head on, and you have some amazing stories already to go along with that faith step. We asked several of the youth that you all work with to answer a few questions for us. Let's take a look at what they had to say. So tell me a little bit more about how Carry the Cross Ministries has impacted your life.
They opened me to Jesus and the Bible, and they taught me how to do certain things. And when I first went there, I had a shield, and they made me feel more comfortable around them and other people, and they taught me how to do certain things and how to pray when it's bad days and good days.
All right, Jariah, how old are you?
I'm 11.
You're 11. So tell me a little bit more about yourself. What are some of your favorite things about the Firehouse?
They help me express myself and open out more. They help me with my attitude. I love the way they care for people, and they open the house to me and stuff.
Hey Frankie, how you doing?
I'm good. Super blessed.
Super blessed.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, so tell me a little bit more about what life is like at the Firehouse.
It's just really nice, so chill. It's a chill place to just be at, you know.
What are some of your favorite things about it?
Honestly, just spending time with Mr. Nealand.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
That's your favorite thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yes.
What kinds of things do you guys do together?
Honestly, we just talk. We talk and have fun. Maybe sometimes play sports or something like that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
What's it like for you to have someone that you can just talk to and play sports with?
Honestly, he's my father. I call him my father because he's always been there. He's been there for me through the most tough moments and through the lows and highs. Honestly, he's just been there through it all, and I'm super blessed to have him in my life.
All right, hey Leah, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So I just kind of want to know a little bit more about the firehouse. What are some of your favorite things about the firehouse?
Knowing Jason, and then cooking with Courtney and hanging out with the rest of the kids.
Yeah, nice. I like that. So it sounds like you have a little kind of community.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit more about Carry the Cross Ministries and how they've impacted your life.
Just like being close with them helps a lot. And then like I guess with other ministries I'm not really like close to them because I mean like it's more of like a thicker and like bond stuff with them. Whenever I need to talk to them, they're there. It's never a time where like they're not there.
Yeah. So you feel like you've got someone to talk to.
Yes.
You need to do something.
They're like a family, and you can have hope with them, and it's just not like other people. They're different, and they love to help kids, and they treat them like they're their own child.
It's around people that I've built a bond with, the people that I love, and then on top of that, it's around like positive energy. I don't have to worry about anything negative. It's just like, I don't know, very happy.
Yeah. Ever since then, they treated me like I was their own daughter. Even when I'm in my bad times, they treat me like, good.
Yeah. What's that like for you to feel like you're part of the family?
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
I feel loved.
Yeah, you feel loved.
It's awesome. It's amazing. It's a true blessing to have a man just like that in your life, and I'm truly blessed because honestly, I mean, without him, I might have just not been here, you know.
Sure.
Yes,
Tell
ma'am.
me a little bit more about that. If you hadn't have met him, what was your life like before?
It was just real rough. Just my whole life, it's been rough, and he's been a blessing in my life. Just being there for me, even when I was in Texas, he's still there for me. When things happened, he was still there for me. And he was down to go drive all the way with his whole family down there, and for me, literally. And I just think that's a true blessing, honestly. I'm happy, and I love him so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
We have a great task ahead of us. With your help, God-sized miracles can happen. Wherever you're at, we hope that at this moment you will take time to write down 3 ways that you can contribute in helping On Eagles Wings Farm take flight. It could be as simple as praying, telling others about our mission, or by being a volunteer at the firehouse. Maybe it's a donation for us to be able to buy land and continue our programs. Either way, we just hope that wherever God is laying on your heart to do, that you will say yes to doing it.
You may be sitting there right now thinking to yourself, well, if I donate to this organization, what is my ROI? Or better put, my return on my investment? We've heard that question many times from our donors across the years, so we started putting together numbers to make sure that you know that your money's going to a good place. Each year we track what we call connection points. Each connection point represents 1 hour that a child or adult has spent with us at the firehouse. The numbers that we are sharing with you now are currently our monthly averages. We average 284 youth connection points per month, 23 adult connection points, 240 hours per month serving, 60 hours per month mentoring, 22 hours per month counseling youth, and 17 hours per month counseling adults. We're also a harvester's partner, so that enables us to have a food pantry and share food for those who are in need in our community. On an average, we serve 25 households per month, giving out 125 bags of food.
We're also approached by our neighborhood parents as the school year began about opening a school at the firehouse until the schools were back open in person in November. We agreed and have had 5 students join us from the neighborhood, along with our 5 children homeschooling. We open our doors at 8:30 a.m. and go until 3:30 each day. Most of the kids at the firehouse stay until dark. We serve breakfast and lunch as well as dinner to those who stay until later.
Over the past year, we have brought 4 young ladies to live in the firehouse who have aged out of the foster care system. Our last one just transitioned out after graduating high school from Bonner Springs and holding a job at Lowe's for 8 months while she was with us. After rehabbing the apartment, we will be recruiting 2 more to come and stay with us. And really, honestly, those numbers are just a tangible way for us to help you understand more precisely what we do on a daily basis. But when it boils down to it, your ROI is this. As you invest in our family, in our ministry, and in our organization, we will make a continued promise to you, our supporters, to love God with our whole hearts, to serve Him dutifully in whatever way that He leads us, to be a place of refuge, restoration, and renewal for those that need it, to provide a place of hope for the hopeless, to reach out to the lost and the broken with the love, grace, and tender heart of Jesus, and to do our best to be a family, a safe place, a shelter to those who are without. This letter that I received on my birthday a few weeks ago from one of our youth in our programs point to the real return on our investment. Happy birthday, Jason. I hope you have a nice birthday, and I just wanted to let you know how much I appreciate you. You took me out of a dark place, and you opened me up to God, someone I had never really heard of. You told me so much about Him, and I thank you for that. I just wanted to tell you that even though I still might mess up and do or say bad things, I still know that you guys will walk me through it. You helped me with my sister a lot, and I just wanted to say thank you.
We can't wait to take the next step in opening On Eagles Wings Farm. And with your help this evening, that dream can come to fruition. Thank you for joining us on our journey tonight and in life. Here are a few ways that you can give if you feel led.
Will you join us on this journey?
Will you make a child's dream come true?
Can you donate?
Go to oneagleswingsfarm.org and click Give to help be the change that we need.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We know that it's been a different year for us all and that your time could have been spent doing many other things. So we really appreciate you joining us tonight. The silent auction is still open, so make sure that you check it out on Facebook. And we hopefully look forward to seeing you at next year's in-person gala. We hope you've enjoyed tonight and that it has truly been a night to remember.
Thank you so much to all of you for joining us tonight, to all of our sponsors,
and to our gala committee and their families.
Thank you super duper duper much.
God bless you guys.
I know you've heard the stories, but they all sound too good to be true. You've heard about a place called home, but there doesn't seem to be one for you. So one more night you cry yourself to sleep and drift off to a distant dream. And love takes you in, and everything changes. A miracle starts with the beat of a heart. And love takes you home. It takes you home for good. Loneliness ends and a new life begins. And love takes you in. And somewhere while you're sleeping, what will be.